Okay, welcome back to Eyes Open Media. And very quickly, I'm going to go through this. I did talk about it a little bit on the main channel on the report today. So I'm just going to go a little bit through this. Alan Greenspan, the former Federal Reserve Chairman, was on Fox Business I guess it was today or yesterday or something like that. And he's saying the same things that we're saying. Okay. He talked about the rate hike. He talked about the U.S. and Europe. And he mentioned that Europe and the U.S. are in big trouble. Okay, so this is he's basically looking at the long-term economic growth problems for both Europe and the United States, and he's basically saying the same things we're saying. But the one thing I will say is that in my heart, and and I already know, not it's not even have to be in my heart, but I already know that it's a planned event. Is a planned this Western world crumbling is a planned stage event. Okay, they're doing it on purpose. They're taking the refugees and they're flooding Europe and America with refugees so they can collapse the economies on purpose. They're doing so many things to the Western world on purpose. They're not educating the Western world on silver and gold like they're doing in the Eastern world. So it's definitely a planned takeover of the Western world to destroy the Western world and to rise the Eastern world back up. Okay, so yeah, and some of you guys are gonna say, well, you know what? It's biblical because that's what's supposed to happen in Revelations, anyways. Yeah, it is, but at the same time, it's a blatant, it's a blatant destruction of the Western world, blatantly, you know what I mean? Especially the refugee stuff, because here are refugees that are in the Middle East, and they have they have rich countries in the Middle East, and they bypass those countries so they can flood Europe and America. That's and they bypass Russia, they bypass China, they bypassed Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Oman, Qatar, and all the Kuwait, all the rich countries in the Middle East and in the Eastern world, they bypass them and say go to the Western world and flood in the Western world. Okay, so it's unbelievable, but it's a planned attack on the Western world, and we also know that, and we also know it's biblical that the Western world has to fall so the Eastern world can rise, and then Yeshua will return. Okay, so we already know that. So yeah, Alan Greenspan saying exactly what we were saying. The rate hike might happen. It may be June or July, or maybe August or September, maybe October, but another rate hike is coming. We hope we don't see it until the Dow Jones hits 20,000, because then we can meet those that are on Patreon with me can take full advantage of that. So we hope that we don't see the Dow until the rate hike until the Dow is at 20,000. Maybe that's one of the reasons why the Dow Jones is headed up right now, the last couple of days. So it's almost back to 18,000, and then maybe it will go from 18,000 to 19,000 back up to 20,000, and then they might do the rate hike then, and then drop it down to about 13, 14, 15,000. Okay, so and then they'll probably say, okay, no more rate hikes, no more rate hikes, and then Dow goes all the way back up to 20,000. Okay, so that's it for me. I told you guys the video is gonna be quick today. Alan Greenspan, former Federal Reserve Chairman, says that Europe and America are in big trouble, especially long-term economic growth problems and so much other things that are going on in the Western world. Okay, so that's it for me. Eyes open. Peace.